Alright, good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, guys, welcome once again to Water Price and Engineering Services. We are here right now in our shop, in our small shop located in Congressman E.T. Bacalto Street. That is Congressman E.T. Bacalto Street. Corner South Road Properties. That is the SRP junction. Over there is the City Hall. You can see the park that the car that are parked. That is the City Hall. And welcome to our small shop. To this video, we want to talk about what is the importance of fittings, especially unions, ball bulbs, and other fittings. I am making this video because in order to aware to all the who are planning to purchase water refilling station machines. So I'm making this video in order that you are aware for those installers and other suppliers that are not making their machines in a standard way or in a right installation way. Because one of the reason is, if you can see this part, this is the automatic pump control. Some installers did not place a ball bulb here, something like this one. The ball bulb is very important because if you are going to do a maintenance, like for example here, if this EPC had a trouble and that is being used, in this part there is a water, right? There is a water. Then if you don't have a ball bulb and you want to remove this one, you cannot remove because unless you can remove this one unless that is empty of water. So in order to remove this one without removing the water, all you have to do is close this one, and automatically the water cannot go out here. So you can easily remove this one. And another important purpose is the union. All right. If we want to remove this one without union, with some installer, they make their installation. What we call this one? They not properly place fittings. So they make their assembly to minimize the cost without placing the union here. So it is directly all pipes here with the elbow and elbow here without these two fittings. So that is not a good kind of assembly. That is not a good kind of what do you call this one? Assembling of the setups. So it should have a ball bulb and a union, or it's either union or the ball bulb, whichever comes first. But what is important, there is a fittings here. Some also in this portion, other installers they don't place a union here. What they did is only two nipples between the two filter housing, and that it's not good kind of assembly because they minimize the cost of assembly And the purpose of placing the union here is in order to easily remove, like for example, you're going to remove this filter housing attachment. You can easily remove by removing the connections using this union. If not, so it is very difficult to maintain your filter housing. Just in case your filter housing holder or the attachment can experience leaking, so that is not a good kind of assembly. Another one is some installers did not place what do you call this one, the gauge. It should be airtight gauge or the oil type gauge. So did not place the gauge here. It should have gauge here, and gauge in this softener portion. This should be a gauge between the multimedia and the carbon, and the carbon and the softener, and after the softener this should also gauge. What is the importance of having a gauge here? In order to identify the pressure drop in between the FRP cylinders. So in that way you can determine when to backwash, because in order to identify on when you backwash your FRP tanks, you should read the pressure. There is a pressure reading here, and to identify that you are going to backwash, it should have a pressure drop of 10 psi. So like for example, this is your first gauge, and the reading of this one is let's say 60 psi, just for example 60 psi. In order to determine that this portion is already clogged, you should read the other gauges after the gauge between the multimedia and the carbon. So you should read this one here. Like for example, if the pressure drop here is at the 50 psi and here is 60 psi, so there is a pressure drop of 10 psi, so that's the time you're going to backwash. But if the pressure drop here is only 5 psi, it's not necessary that you're going to backwash. Well, it's up to you. If you have plenty of water, and like for example you don't have you have your own deep well, so meaning to say you have plenty of water, so like and that's the time not going to backwash. But if you are using deep what you call this one, and Nawasa or MCWD like here in Cebu, so you have to minimize the cost of your water bill. So you are going to use the method of 10 psi drop in between the FRP gauges. So that is very important, that there should be a pressure gauge here, because some installers or suppliers, they don't place a pressure gauge in this portion. So that is very important. And some also didn't place the union in between the FRP tanks. So what is very important in that? Habas?
Ano galon?
Galon? Oktan may galon, mga nanira.
Awa ni galon ito ba?
No, oktan may, mapamin ng deliveran.
Pila ka to?
Tag 110, 110 amo dire.
Ha?
110.
Kuha na day.
Wala na. Pila tayo mo kabok?
Kinsi.
15? Nga pa itong hapon abot.
Tapos pa.
So that's it. Sorry for that. That's
Tapos sa.
mga alas 3 siguro. Abot na to. Sorry for that. A little bit interruption to our client. But that's it. Another tips right here in water process and engineering services. There should be fittings in between the FRP tanks, and of course this portion, on that portion, in this portion, in between the, you should be aware, in between the filter housings like this one, in order to easily maintain for future maintenance. Okay, that's it. A simple tip right here in water process and engineering services: doing the right assembling of machine, good and standard way of assembling of machines right here in our store here in Talisay City. Well, again, thanks for watching the video. By the way, we are serving our client with complete parts and consumables. If you can see that one, we have complete what we call this one, the motors, the APC, the digital head and manual head controllers, and of course we also have the 500 barrels for those who are bottling. This one, and the industrial salts, we have that one. FRP tanks, we have that one, and of course exclusive for our installation, we have the UPVC pipes. These are the UPVC pipes. The filter housings. We have aquatic brands. On our APC, we have Monroe. We have Aquatech and Bronze. How do you say this one? Bronze. Multi-functional flow control valve for water treatment systems. We have that one. For pumps like Aquatidila, Aquatech, Aqua King, we have that one. Also we have the float switch, complete sediment filters from 1 micron, 5 micron, 10 micron and 20 micron, and the carbon blacks also that we have done. So if you are planning to do business with water refilling station, you can visit us in our 2 stores we have in Bulhoon branch. In Bulhoon we have the water refilling stations. We have the refilling stations, and they're serving also the parts and consumables. So here in Talisay City, we serve all parts and consumables and different kinds of fittings. So that's it. If you are planning to do business with water refilling station, look for a supplier that is legit, with store that you can visit, an actual view, with store that can serve you the warranty, not the fly-by-night that you can only see once you installed, and after the warranty it is gone. So that's it. A friendly reminder and tips right here in water process and engineering services. Thanks for watching the video. If you happen to not yet subscribe, and click the subscribe button and click the bell button for notification. Thanks for watching the video. Water process, the way water should be.